Hey, what's up, guys? It's part two or part deux because I'm keeping it classy here of my Frapin fragrances review impression kind of thing. So part deux, whatever. I'm going to cover a few other fragrances that I have, and then at the end I'm going to do a sort of overview and give my rating, like final rating for all of them, broken record kind of thing, of what I think of them. So the next one I'm going to get to is actually 1697, and like 1270, this one actually has, like, looking at the note list, it's a pretty big mess, kind of like 1270, and it doesn't look exactly as good as 1270, but it still looks like it has a lot of potential looking at the note list. So let me give you what I got here. The top notes is French lavender, pink pepper, rum, Artemisia. Jeez, I probably said that wrong, but whatever. The middle notes are jasmine, ylang-ylang, clove, cinnamon, hawthorn, rose, dried fruits, and the base notes are musk, patchouli, cedar, amber, tonka bean, and vanilla. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on there. And what did I get out of this? Well, okay, I'm gonna have two parts to this, okay? When I first sprayed this, the only thing that I could think of, actually, for the very first maybe 5 minutes, was actually a rock and rye. Bear with me here. Because honestly, I don't even remember the last time I smelled a rock and rye, but a rock and rye is a drink that, I don't even know if it's still around anymore. I assume it's still around, but I don't drink a lot of pop anymore, but it's just a very distinguishable kind of smell. Like, no other pop smells like a rock and rye, at least that I've had. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if you guys have ever smelled that, but it's just a very interesting kind of smelly, tasty, kind of smelly pop smell. So that only lasts 5 minutes, unfortunately, okay? And just because you're interesting doesn't mean it's good, but it lasts for about 5 minutes. And then I'm left with about, let's say, 4 hours of just something that just doesn't smell very good to me. It's kind of funky, bordering on gross smelling, I think. When I was wearing it and testing it, I often felt like rubbing it off, to be honest with you. Just getting it off of my skin, but I gotta see how long it lasts, right? Something is just wrong with it. It's musty. It's kind of just ugh. It's, like I said, it's borderline gross. It's kind of funky smelling for sure. I've tried smelling it and trying to, like, relate it to something to compare it to after that opening, but honestly, I kind of just felt like, you know what? I don't care what it smells like because I will never buy it. So it doesn't matter what I think it smells like because I will never pay $200 for something like this. I don't care if, like, my girlfriend likes it or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, because hopefully she likes something else that I like, because I'm not going to wear this. So thankfully, after about 4 to 5 hours, it gets better, and it gets it's more cream soda sort of vibe again. And even then, maybe not exactly a cream soda, but there's just so much coming at you, and I just can't relate it to anything else than that. So it becomes more of a cream soda, and at the very end of it, it's it's kind of nice. It's a sweet, kind of more generic, sweet, boozy sort of dried out. And to touch on the boozy note, actually, although some people say that Frapin 1270 is actually the one that smells like pure malt, I would actually say, in my humble, pauper, not rich person knows, that this smells more like pure malt, I think, has a pure malt vibe, than 1270 does. Not that this smells like pure malt, because again, I like pure malt, and I don't really like this, so I'm not suggesting you buy this, but this smelled more like 1270, or pure malt to me than 1270 did, actually. So yeah, we had 5 minutes variable, kind of interesting rock and rye smell, just 4 to 5 hours of just funky, kind of, I was bored, I wanted to get it off my skin, just musty, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, it's a boozy kind of, I didn't like it, and then after that it becomes more of a kind of cream soda vibe again, something. I'm gonna compare it to that because I'm not sure what else to say to compare it to. And then you get more of a sweet, kind of more generic-y, kind of, but nice dry down. I will say for performance-wise, again, like all the other Frapins, not much projection on this. But I will say this one has lasted me the longest. This one has lasted me 12 hours when I've tried it. So that's the longest lasting. Now, one little thing I'm going to say, though, is a little bit strange. When I've worn this, specifically the first day that I wore this, I woke up and I had like this blanket on, and my blanket smelled really good, actually. And I was like, oh man, I was like, what? Why does my blanket kind of smell like some kind of sweet, fruity cologne or something? And then I went back and I took my, sample decant of 16, or what is it? You can tell how much I don't like it because I almost called it the wrong name, 1697. I was like, is that the 1697? And I actually put it on paper. And opening is awful on paper too, okay? Well, at least on skin you get 5 minutes of a rock and rye kind of smell, but opening is not very good on paper either. But then after that dries down, I got it right here, dude, and this smells pretty good on paper too. So, because like I said, it smelled pretty good. I must have got a little bit on my blanket. So if you're one of those people that sprays your clothes, which this juice isn't very dark, so I don't think it would stain your clothes too bad, but I don't suggest anyone sprays their clothes with cologne in the first place. But if you're going to, I guess this isn't the darkest juice, so your stain might not be too bad. But, if you can get past the opening, which is kind of nasty, I mean, most of the dry down is on paper, and it smells pretty good on paper. So there might be some skin chemistry issues there, obviously. So this might smell good on some people, but funky on me, dude. Funky butt loving. So I'm giving this one a pass. Not even decant worthy. I will say it does smell good on paper, though. I do like this on paper. It's pretty nice, actually. So, 1697. We're getting rid of that one, guys. Okay, so the next one, let's do Passion Boisee. Did I say that right? Did you know I practiced French in middle school? You probably would not have guessed that, would you? From that, at least. Now, actually, looking at the notes of this, I thought I might kind of like this one. But the top notes are tangerine, which you get a lot of, nutmeg, rum, clove, and the base notes are oak moss, which I also get a lot of that, oak, and the bottom base notes are patchouli, leather, and cedar. So not as busy as, obviously 1697 and 1270. So not much going on there. I don't really have a lot to say about this one either. Oh, I guess I had a lot to say about 1697. This one, not a lot to say, to be honest. This kind of smelled, and I've only seen a few other people say it, but it's what I got, kind of smelled like a cleaning detergent, some kind of cleaning agent. And I've seen some people say that as well, and I saw some guys say it smells like a turpentine kind of smell. And I didn't really get anything interesting in it. It smelled like something you used to clean something. Just a very orangey tangerine kind of smell like that, with some woods in the background, way in the background. And, I don't really have much interesting to say about it. There's definitely a strong alcohol note. And again, this is not a boozy note. This was more of an alcohol period smell. The alcohol reminded me of the alcohol note in Luministe, if that matters to you. Which, there's no gin and tonic in this that it says, but just the alcohol smell is what this reminded me of. Not that it smells like Luministe per se, but if we're comparing fragrances just from Frapin in this little group. So yeah, it's kind of a cleaner smell, but not fresh. God, I really don't have much to say about it. I thought I might like it a little bit more, but I just got that cleaner kind of smell, and I think if anyone knows that the cologne that I wear, I don't wear a lot of fresh scents. I like a lot of more sweeter, kind of like stuff like that, tobacco kind of stuff. So, and this definitely would not. I already have enough clean, fresh smelling stuff, and I'm pretty good. So, this is not good enough to break into that. I thought this was pretty boring. It was linear. I will say, performance-wise, it was light again, like all Frapins, but again, it lasted me like 8 hours. So. Like I said, I have not had any longevity issues with anything from Frapin. So yeah, kind of, I will say I'm sure this is probably a good compliment getter though. At least better than some of the others, like 1697, because it smells clean. not fresh, but it does smell clean, and you know, we know a lot of people tend to like citrus clean stuff, right? So there you go. This is what you want. And lastly, the last sample I had from them was Caravelle Epicee. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I have no idea how you said it. I'm gonna write the name down, so I'm sure people can like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But let me get to the notes of this one. Where top notes: nutmeg, coriander. Yep. Middle notes were hot pepper, yeah, chili pepper, yeah, pepper, caraway, guaiac wood, and base notes were sandalwood, amber, patchouli, and tobacco. You know, this one again, like the other, I don't have a lot of interesting to say about this because it didn't do anything for me. I kind of felt like, and not that it smelled the same, but I feel like the kind of people that probably like this scent are probably the same kind of people that like that Andy Tower Desert Moroccan scent or whatever that is. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I got scammed into getting a sample decant thing of that. I mean, so many people in the fragrance community based on us are like, oh, this is so amazing. You can't say you collect fragrances if you've never smelled this. And the fucking Pokemon collector got the best of me. So, you know, I got a little bit of it and just totally over my head, dude. I don't get the hype for it whatsoever. And not that this one is hyped a lot, but I mean, it just kind of reminded me that it's very spicy. More spicy, like I guess that Desert Moroccan is drier than this, I guess. Drier, dustier maybe. This definitely has like a hotter element to it. It's hot, spicy, herby, kind of like, it kind of reminded me of like, and not that first, and of course I love hot pepper, I love hot sauce, any kind of seasoning stuff. I mean, before, you know, Crohn's disease killed me, I used to put hot sauce on everything. You know, unfortunately now I can't. So I can't season the shit out of all my chicken that I eat. But, you know, I do like that smell, but I kind of just felt like this is like putting a bunch of seasoning all over you. Like, just some kind of like hot sauce, seasoning. You're like, your steak or something, and you're making yourself good. I mean, I don't know, dude. It was kind of lost on me. It's not something I would want to smell like. I thought it smelled kind of old as well. I mean, it does have tobacco in it, and I like a lot of tobacco fragrances, but I didn't really care for this. As it dries down, I thought it got nicer. But again, I just felt like putting a bunch of hot seasoning, rubber. You know what I mean? So just totally, it was lost on me, guys. I'm sorry. Some people said they get rum out of this too, but this was the only Frapin that I tried that I didn't get any kind of alcohol, boozy note, personally myself. Again. So this was lost on me. If you want to smell like a good, well-seasoned steak, I guess it's not a terrible smell, but it's not something I want to smell like. And I didn't think it was a good seasoning smell, I guess. Don't kill me, rich people that collect cologne. Again, performance-wise, same as all the Frapins. It was you know, not good projection, but longevity was fine, no problems. So let me go into let me give you my top 5. You know, there's obviously other fragrances from Frapin, but those were the top 5 those were the 5 that I got samples of. And honestly, after I got that, I had kind of thought about trying Speakeasy, I think, because it looked like the notes looked like I may have liked it, but I was just kind of underwhelmed with everything from them. I didn't really care for anything, so I passed. And I saw some of the reviews, and some of the reviews thought that it smelled old. So, you know, I was like, whatever. I smelled 5 from them. I'm good with that. So, let's see. The bottom tier I'm going to give. The total passes. Got to be this Passion Boise, this Caravelle Epicee, whatever. Those are tied for the bottom, I think. I didn't like those at all. I don't think I would never... I mean, I still have some left, so I'm sure I'll try it again someday. But I can tell you at this point in my life, I really don't give a fuck, honestly. They were just a waste of money. I wish I would have got samples of something else. I mean, the one thing I could say is like the Pokemon collector in me has gotten to smell them. Do you know what I mean? So they were whatever to me, dude. Third, I guess I'll give it to 1697. I mean, although potentially I will say this is the worst smelling of all of them, I guess it smelled good at points. I mean, you might even give this a tie for the bottom of the other ones. Potentially it smells good. Maybe it's just bad skin chemistry. Because like I said, paper once you get past that nasty, funky opening on paper, you know, you get a lot of the base notes, and the opening goes away fast. But, you know, on my skin, 4 to 5 hours, I smell like butt funk. I mean, I don't know what it was. It just was not good. Boozy, funky, dude, totally lost on me. So as for the best, obviously, like I said, I don't think any of those, not even decant worthy for me. They have those three, but the best, I would say, obviously, Lumineast and 1270. They are the most hyped, and I will, testing these, I will agree. Those are the best. I guess, if I had to say objectively, I think that Lumineast is the best because, even when I didn't like it, it's still super lemon, fresh blast. Everyone likes those kind of scents, it seems like, you know what I mean? Lost on me. I don't care for them, but, I'm sure it will get you a lot of compliments, you know what I mean? So I think objectively that is probably the best because, like I said, even when I didn't like it, it still wasn't an awful smell. Just not something I would wear. And then when I liked it, you know, it's got that a can, like I've said before, a can of already drinking 7-Up or Sprite, but the mist of it. But that was only in cool weather because the cool weather really gave it that tinge, and that helped my nose relate those notes to that, and it made it more interesting and maybe worth a decant for me for there, but not buying, you know what I mean? And then 1270, you know, broken record. If I'm feeling good, my nose is relating the notes well. It's you know, the top, you know, so much stuff going on there. That dried fruit, that plum, you know, that back with the cocoa, the coffee, the tonka bean, you know, the dried fruit I said, you know, just so much stuff going on, and as long as you don't take in too much alcohol, it can make a little bit juicy, you know, and even when it's, even besides that juicy part, just the very first few minutes, you know, that the contrast of the dried fruit with that crisp, zesty pineapple, you know what I mean? And then the middle, you know what I mean, starts getting more sweet, you know, just hints of honey coming at you, you know what I mean? And then the dry down is just, you know, you got those sweet woods, the vanilla kind of thing, and the honey is still lingering there. And, you know, hopefully you don't get too much alcohol. But of course, it was a strange fragrance for me because it's one of those, I want to say I like it, but it's one of those strange fragrances that for me personally, I always give myself an extra spray on the wrist because I wear cologne. Hopefully someone thinks I smell good too, because I like that as well when people come up to me and tell me, you know, oh, I knew someone smelled good, so I knew Clayton must have been around, right? But I do it too because I just like to bury my hands and my nose and my wrist, you know what I mean? I like to smell it. But this one is one of those, I felt like you have to teach yourself how to smell it because it's not something you could fully enjoy, because if you smell it too much, the bad parts come out. Like at the beginning, if you smell just a little bit, the alcohol can make it smell, the fruit smell a little more juicy. But if you're like really enjoying the fragrance yourself, taking it all in, it's just too much alcohol, and I don't care for it. And then the middle, you got that honey is really starting to come through. But when you start to smell deeper, the honey goes away, and you're getting more fruits, which is all right. But then you're also starting to get more of the alcohol again, which, whatever. And then the bottom, you know, that sweet, you know, that nice dry down, but there's not a lot left there, and alcohol even has a more chance. And I've had bad days where I've tried it where it just, I do agree that it can smell kind of old. Do you know what I mean? Because the alcohol and just the way the fruit mixes with it. Whereas again, comparing it to something like By Killing Straight to Heaven, even though that can smell old, I feel it could still smell sexy in a way, if that makes sense. Whereas this just could smell kind of fruity and old on the bad side of it. So, yeah, there you go. 1270 and Lumineast are the best, I think. And so I guess I agree with the fragrance community, although I don't agree with the actual hype they get. But I do agree that they are the best from the house that I've smelled. So that's my review. So you can like, subscribe, because I think, you know, I get a little bit of money if you guys do that. Thank you. So, but you don't have to. You could hate the video and I'll just be sad. So fuck you if you do that, but whatever. Thanks for watching. I'll get to some more fragrance reviews in a bit, I guess. Thanks.